guys, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai, Korea, and Taiwanese qualifiers. This is the series to determine that first spot at Shanghai.
Who is going to the IEM tournament in Shanghai? Is it INnoVation, or is it going to be KT Rolster's MyuNgSiK? I hope I said that right.
MyuNgSiK.
It's his real name, so it's not an ID, it's his real name. So I hope I said that good. We're about to find out who's getting a plane ticket to China.
Pretty darn cool. Will it be INnoVation or will it be MyuNgSiK? I know a lot of people out there probably rooting for this man, spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our blue Terran even, I should say. He is INnoVation, and spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have our yellow Protoss. He is MyuNgSiK.
Always good to catch up with INnoVation's builds across all three matchups, which we've now seen, including this one. That's not us.
No, that's not us, guys.
That's the Korean middleman.
I looked at his name first and I was like, ah, cool, Diablo. And then I was like, wait, what? I can't even say it.
That's funny how the brain works sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's because it's got the B on the end. Kind of could say Diablo.
It looks very, very Diablo-esque.
Yeah.
But he's gone, man. Look at him. He's gone.
He's out of here.
He's gone. No, no. Are you a referee? Say, just keep going. What's up, BM? You should, like, the voice chat thing pops up. You should be like...
This is where I find out, like, that guy has to be in here for some reason.
Yeah. He's like the restraint on the talent of INnoVation.
I don't think that guy's a caster, so... Because he was the one organizing the invite, so...
Yeah. So I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah.
All right.
This is where the Koreans, like,
just leave.
Nah, we prefer that guy.
Yeah.
And they leave him like, oh. Yeah.
MyuNgSiK is the winner. All right. Okay. So you were saying all three matchups, all three build orders. Yum yum yum.
Yeah. Some of the common builds in Terran vs Protoss are just one back command center, sometimes command center first, and Reaper expands. These are kind of the most commonly used ones. I wouldn't be surprised to see Reaper play.
Yeah, it's certainly an option here. I would like to see it as well. It gives you a lot of good scouting information early on.
That's the most important.
We've followed very closely INnoVation's road here through the qualifier thus far. Can you check how MyuNgSiK has been doing in terms of his road thus far?
He beat Lucera.
Yes.
No, wait, sorry. He beat Alive first.
Okay.
And that was 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
He then went on to beat Hyun 2-1. And then beat San. Let me just refresh.
I think it may have been 2-1.
Yes.
Right.
Again.
Okay. So, cool stuff.
So lots of 2-1s, but lots of wins.
And potentially not opponents as higher caliber as INnoVation. But I think MyuNgSiK has already done extremely well to get to where he is. This 60-man qualifier is... Again, absolutely stacked. I would go as far to say as this is the most stacked Korean qualifier we have had ever for the Intel Extreme Masters.
It's a very, very good set of players here. All incredible. All 16 of them are great, great players. Looking at MyuNgSiK's build here, Myung, I think it is said. Hyun, Myung.
Ah, yeah, I see
MyuNgSiK. He's got a later second gas. So his build is a little bit more focused on minerals. It wasn't super early. So he should be, with this, 1-gate expansion, then tech. If it was gases a little bit earlier, I'd say maybe he's the option of tech and early. But it looks like he's just going to play a straight-up game. Because he's not got double gases early, he can't even afford anything other than a Mothership Core or a Stalker. You know, how is he going to throw down anything from this point?
And INnoVation came in pretty early. He saw all the pylons, everything that he needed to see to make sure that he knew that his opponent wasn't going for anything too crazy over the other side of the map.
And he changed from a Stalker to a Sentry too, which is actually focusing even more on minerals.
Yeah.
The Sentry only being 50 minerals, so he was able to get down the expansion just a little bit faster. So
now, did he change from Stalker to Sentry because he knew there was no kind of Reaper things coming along? Or?
So the reason why he changed is because the game at this level of play, and I don't want to go over too many people's heads, but at this level of play, INnoVation went in there and saw the gas and was like, okay, this is how much gas he has. he's building something from the gateway. It has to be a Stalker because he doesn't have enough gas for a Sentry.
Yeah.
That means that, you know, he now knows that there's a Stalker out there, and it maybe wasn't going to be an expansion super fast.
Yes.
So INnoVation now is like, all right, well, if he's building a Stalker, that's not a fast Nexus. Maybe he's saving that gas for something to come down, which is why he needs to send out a second SCV to come in, spot the Nexus, maybe if he's lucky, see the Sentry count or see the Stalker, and just kind of get more intel.
Yeah, I guess if there was a Stalker out in the middle of the field as well, he would be kind of a little bit more apprehensive about moving out with Marines into the middle of the map. It's a little bit harder for him to micro against.
Yep.
So certainly some good opportunities here for MyuNgSiK to deal with what he's been seeing so far. But INnoVation did poke in and saw the natural, so that's good for him as well.
And if INnoVation's, you know, if INnoVation's on tip-top form, he'll be like, all right, that was probably a cancel into Sentry. That 3-second difference, because I'm INnoVation, means that you canceled the Stalker and got a Sentry and got a faster Nexus. You can actually tell if you go heavily into detail like a lot of these players will do. But at this point, we have INnoVation with a very normal build, and MyuNgSiK now just scouting out the normal 2-1 barracks, into Expo, double more, and then factory engineering bay at the same time.
I guess if you want to kind of look at it very, very detailed, you could theorize that a Sentry, if it wasn't out as early as the first one was, wouldn't have enough energy for that hallucinated Phoenix.
That's right. So small little things. INnoVation scans to find out what's up, and actually just misses the robotics facility, unfortunately. Sees the gateway. He was more focused on scouting the south side rather than the north, and so the robo gets away for free without being scouted. So he doesn't know if this is going to be Colossus play or Templar play.
And the Robo Bay is going down here. MyuNgSiK working on a...
Ooh,
no, the Marine!
Okay.
Really?
So now he's the Robo and the Robo Bay. Perfect information there from INnoVation, so now knows, all right, it is going to be Colossus play.
That's a bit annoying there. He could have denied that. There's no doubt about that. Oh, he hallucinated an Immortal. Cheeky. Why did he have that hallucinated Immortal? Just kind of throwing his punt off. Sending over that second Observer there as well. And so INnoVation might be a little bit more careful about this. Well, I was going to say if he'd read into it, maybe he would be a little bit more defensive if he'd have seen that.
I think if he'd not seen the robotics bay, he would have been a lot more defensive.
Yeah.
But one early Immortal's like safe play rather than aggressive, so he shouldn't be too worried. I mean, he's getting double reactors, or at least a reactor tech lab, so he's not trying to pump out units. And he's even looking for that Observer that did try to poke its way in and then move out. And he's still looking to find it. He does see it. He sees it, and it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Fantastic.
So then, you know, looking at MyuNgSiK, he's gone back over to a Double Forge, or gone over to Double Forge. So it's going to be a very heavy Colossus play. So this is like 3-4 Colossus, even more, potentially, before looking to go over Twilight Council and Templar Archives.
Sees an SCV transferring up to the third base as well here for MyuNgSiK, so he may assume that third command center is going down without seeing it if he was paying full attention, but the drop's on the way as well. Did that drop past the hallucinated Phoenix? I don't think so, but that dies off.
Even if it did, it's not a big problem here. He's got a cannon in the mirror line, he's got the mothership core for a photon overcharge. He's playing it very passively, very safe and defensive. Cannons and quite a late third. He could have easily tried to squeeze in a third by now, but it's INnoVation who's going to stretch him thin, so he's not going to put himself in that thin position to begin with.
Drops a Widow Mine on the low ground here. Gets killed off. Photon overcharge in the main along with that cannon, so INnoVation's having no room whatsoever to actually make this work. Great play. Oh, wow.
Excellent play. There is one Widow Mine there, though, and I think he realizes. He should realize, but at the same time, INnoVation's looking for a cancel on the third. Not there, though.
Yep.
So quite high level play by both these players.
Very, very nicely done. He even killed an Observer as well there.
Yeah, it was like an idle Observer. It wasn't even moving.
And picks straight on up, and he's going to go in. MyuNgSiK's army is completely out of position in regards to where this drop's actually going to hit. Oh, but the Photon Overcharge is still there for a bit. So he spots it with that, at least.
Yeah, and only there for a little bit longer, long enough to...
Oh, tries to focus down that Nexus, but there's no way. Colossus come along and say, no, not today.
All right, so this is the time where he can move over to take a third base now, I'd say. He's up to 2 Colossus, got quite a few gateways. He's got a lot of probes, 63 probes on 2 bases, more than enough probes for 2 base. Needs to take a third now. and is keeping units left in the main base. But so far, the key to success in Protoss vs. Terran is your defense. And in all honesty, it's been pretty damn good so far.
Yeah, MyuNgSiK's done a very, very good job of shutting down.
But this may be the one time it's not good, as I say that. If this gets cancelled.
His army's in an alright position, but it's going to die off before he even gets the opportunity to push this away. He didn't cancel.
Yeah, he didn't cancel, and that's slowing him down a lot. He now needs to bring another probe over. He lost a couple of pylons there that he was building. And that was a nice play. That's kind of the first time INnoVation's been able to do something.
Yeah, and MyuNgSiK, I mean, you were right about his defense being great. There was so much room potential for INnoVation to have killed things, but in terms of probes, in terms of the Nexus that he tried to focus down in the main, but he just didn't give him that room to. And right now, MyuNgSiK, he's getting Storm and he's getting Charge, but I don't know how well he's going to deal with the macro.
Oh, the SCV's coming. INnoVation's trying to hit. He's seen the Templar Archive building, or at least the Twilight Council building, and probably knows the timing of the Storm. So
yeah, this
is just a big play to break MyuNgSiK. He scans, sees 1 High Templar or 2 High Templar not ready for Storm. INnoVation may be able to pick up the win here. It's going to be close.
Ooh. And he has very little anti-air right now. He only has 4 Stalkers. He needs more. He's trying to warp in some as we speak here. The Photon Overcharge goes down. It's going to buy him a lot of time. But if even this push out forces the cancellation of the third once again, without even going over to it, he knows.
Storm, 10 seconds. He's only 10 seconds away. Can he hang on?
He's got to be so careful. There's no ghosts here. So those High Templar are going to go pretty much uncontested unless he tries to focus one of them down.
He's got one.
Oh, it doesn't really hit too much of the bio, though, there in the end. The Vikings are killing off the last Colossus. The bio still retains.
Zealot Charge is there, though. Zealot Charge is so good. I love Zealot Charge is my favorite upgrade, by the way.
Zealot Charge is pretty cool.
It's so good. I love Zealot Charge. But INnoVation loses a lot of SCVs there. He's down to 44 compared to 67. So having the third cancelled, which was smart, is good. That's fine. He's not dead. Does he have 2-2? No. 1-1.
Really?
If only he had 2-2. I'm not sure. I didn't know. Did he build 2-2?
I don't
Or did he get the faster Templar? I think he got the faster Templar Archives.
Yeah.
And skipped up on 2-2. But he survives right now. And this is good for him. He's got 3 High Templar and a new Colossus after all the Vikings went down. And they'll take a third base. Yeah. Really good anti-timing play, though.
It gets into that stage that if you actually do survive this and you can get the Colossus numbers up along with High Templars as well, then you have so much AoE damage that you can eventually shut down bio. But right now, the Ghost Academy is going up, as is the Armory for the 2-2 that INnoVation wants as well. Ooh, pulls one back. That's the army's too much. He can't break the third right now.
Yeah, he can't break the third, but maybe because the army's so thin that he can break somewhere else by dropping. He's never going to beat 1 Colossus and Storm with, you know, no Ghosts or Vikings. So maybe if he drops in the right places, he can find that hole.
The Zealots try and move into position.
8 Zealots. INnoVation's found all the key tech.
Ooh, that's actually a really horrible place for those Zealots to be engaging. Oh, bottled up like that whilst the Marauders just completely wrecked them. That being said, though, he's going to pull back for now, and the push from the north is going to come as well. Scary stuff.
Oh, if he could have killed that pylon. But anyway, INnoVation is also on the natural here. Yeah, there's enough to deal with this one. Going to pick off a cannon in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, the cancel on the third. He needs to keep the defense locked down. So far, he's played a very good game here against INnoVation.
Oh, he's going to try and stem up and kill off some of these Stalkers. Kills off a few of them, separating up his units as well so that the Thermal Lancers don't really do too much to that bio. And in the end, does get on out. But the third has just not been up and running at all this entire game long. MyuNgSiK being kind of sealed on 2 bases is in a bit of a bother.
Yeah, I think that he's doing okay, though. I mean, the supply's not too different apart.
Oh, look at this army, though. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, I say look at that army, but at the same time, I mean, MyuNgSiK does have a lot of AoE.
I mean, it's 66 probes to 62. INnoVation's really, you know, when he lost all those SUVs, he did enough after that to kind of push him back in the running. They're still very, very equal. One thing that is non-existent is harassment, which is why we're seeing a probe move out on the left-hand side to start building pylons. 1 should be there, then there should be 1 top left as well. And INnoVation realizes at this point now he stopped doing it, is where, you know, MyuNgSiK has the chance to harass.
Yeah.
Perfect to build the supply depots there by his third.
Very much so. Really good spot there by INnoVation. Really covering everything he needs to. Pylon's going down for the south here for MyuNgSiK as well, but INnoVation, he's moving out. He's 169 supply right now. But the army supplies are so equal. MyuNgSiK, despite not having that third base up and running, is doing such a lot here with very, very little indeed. And killing off a few more Zealots.
A lot of Zealots on the right-hand side here. just kind of thrown into the mix. Maybe had to get into the main, get to the natural mineral line. Well, the main's shut off there, but I'm not sure how much damage they'll do. If the SCVs pull off and then the units come in.
Well, he evacuated with a few, and he's going to separate them up again here. Those SCVs are actually pinned up against those supply depots and do take quite a bit of damage. So he killed off quite a lot, actually. MyuNgSiK's 27 workers killed.
Yeah, that's a lot of workers killed, and he's sending up more harassing units to the top left too. Meanwhile, just kind of sitting content on 4 Colossus and 8 High Templar. 8, that's a lot of High Templar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Ghosts, though, and we may have the first proper fight of the day. He wants probably to pull back with a couple more High Templar than he has.
Blink's slightly later than I was expecting here, but that's basically because his third was delayed for so long and he was checking to other things. Storms go down. He's trying to kill off the Vikings where he can so he can leave the Colossus happy against this army.
And Zealots have made their way to the third base here. Picking off the command center, though, is not going to happen. He should have targeted down some SCVs, but, you know, both players playing at a very high level here. It's a very good game. If you don't know who MyuNgSiK is, for anyone watching, he's a KT Rolster Protoss player. Obviously, both being Kesper players in themselves, and he's really demonstrating some very good defense, slow and stable Protoss versus Terran play. But one thing we haven't seen from him yet is his control in big fights, and that's going to come soon because he's going to have to. They're both nearing 200 supply. INnoVation
pushing on forwards here with a really, really good concave. He has to be very careful, does MyuNgSiK, about taking this engagement. Storms will push him back for now, though, as how many Vikings does he actually have? He only has 6 out with this army.
5 Colossus and a 6th one on its way.
Yeah, that's...
No, there is a 6th one at home, too. A 7th one on its way.
And actually, well, he's got 4 in production at any given time in terms of the Vikings. So he can scale that production up very, very quickly. But MyuNgSiK's positioning Zealots once again to go for some harassment if he wants to. And pulling those on back now. I think I'm very, very impressed with MyuNgSiK. You don't really see him outside of Pro League.
Nope.
But he's holding his own.
Yep. Yep. No. Yep.
Yep.
I love his observer positioning too on both flanks of this map. Taking a couple of EMPs there. That's a lot of EMPs gone down on these Zealots. You need some emergency storms coming in.
Yeah, that is a lot of EMPs indeed. So much damage can be done by this Bioforce. Good storms actually rip apart a lot of that bio as well. We see that the shields have completely dissipated there from the Protoss force, but look how low the bio is. If they take 1 or 2 more storms, a few lance hits.
4 Colossus, though. This could be a bounce back period here. Just continue to warp in units and go for it while the Viking count's incredibly low. He's got, he did have harassing Zealots at the third base, but I'd say this is a good point to maybe start to move across the map here. I'm not sure, though. He sees with his observer, he sees that army. He sees that everything's low. He sees that there's no Vikings. He's currently at 4 Colossus, a 5th one on the way. Maybe he doesn't want to go because of his upgrades being a little bit low here compared to INnoVation. But I believe that this is a very strong chance for him to do some damage, and he can always evacuate if there were too many.
It certainly could be. And look how many High Templars he actually has at near his main. I mean, he has like 9 High Templars in total right now. INnoVation is going to try and find another route to do some damage here. It's going to be at the 4th base of MyuNgSiK. How much is he going to be able to get done? Don't think too much right now, as MyuNgSiK will push this away. And the Vikings trying to find a spot, but the blink forwards does deny them for a second.
All right, we do see moving forward once again here. Nearing that 200 supply mark is a good time to go. His upgrades, +3 armor, +2 attack. It's not bad, actually, is it? Not bad there at all. And if he can get the right position, he's got an observer with his army. He's got only... How many Templars he got with him? Only 2. He's got a lot left around the map defending. 2's not that many, actually.
Not with the army, no.
I think he probably wants to bring the others. Okay, he's going to bring the others from his left-hand side base and try to make a stance here against INnoVation.
He's certainly holding his own. INnoVation right now, though. 3-3 on the way.
Doesn't have, he only has +1 attack for his Vikings at the moment.
That's true, yeah. That's kind of annoying for him. If he lands multiple storms on those Vikings and they end up dying off, then that's a bad spot. Ooh, that's 1 or 2. 1
or 2 good storms there. The Stalkers are going to have to be key in picking them up too. If one dies, the Vikings or the Ghost, doesn't matter which die, MyuNgSiK's in great position here. Yeah. Is INnoVation going to drop the first game against MyuNgSiK? How's this going to happen? They will have to fight shortly.
These barracks are being such a pest here for MyuNgSiK to deal with. Engaging into this location means that his very zealot-heavy army is so bottled up in any engagement he would take. Oh, the Vikings, though, have found a really, really good spot here for INnoVation.
Oh, crazy blink and a couple of crazy storms there to deflect that, but Zealots do make the way to the third base here. The Dark Shrine did finish, so I'm sure that we'll see some DTs come into play soon as well. I think he's very focused on a lot of other things at this moment. Good position for the Colossus raise.
Very much so. INnoVation right now has to be very, very careful about
that EMP. Good
and
snipe. Okay, the high tempo are gone there, 2 down, but there's a bunch more behind them. Look at it, doesn't bring all of them at once. Realizing that if I take all the high tempo with me and they get EMP'd, I die, but I can always fall back onto the other ones back there. That's really, really intelligent Protoss play, actually.
It's hard to actually break this army, even just with 2 there.
Look at the fourth base on the right-hand side, 3 Stalkers as well. Behind the mineral line, just doing damage to the SCV line where the Planching Fortress can't reach it. This is very, very good patient play.
Even as a Zealot down to that bottom right, actually blocking off that expansion as well here. Archon will end up dying off. And there's a lot of Vikings here. I think INnoVation's just kind of got to the point where he has to kill them.
This is absolutely fantastic. I wondered how his control would be, but this is great.
Yeah, INnoVation now moving forwards here. Cloaks with the Ghosts. Realizes that there isn't any observer there.
Oh, there is now, and all the Ghosts die. And INnoVation's like, God, they're all low. The shields are gone.
INnoVation's death screams are similar to those Ghosts, and now the Vikings, they have to keep themselves alive once again. He killed off 1 Colossus, but with that base going up to the top left for MyuNgSiK, whilst the bottom right and even the middle right have just been shut down. This is good for MyuNgSiK.
And he has the second robotics facility at home, so he's able to build 2 Colossus at a time. He's got a bunch of minerals in the bank as well. INnoVation's running out of money here. He's been starved a little bit. And again, we see him with just 2 high tempo, even though he's got like 10. Only ever 2.
Oh, sends a lot of those Vikings through the storms here, but he split up the Vikings very nicely. The storms keep going down, but the Vikings just keep going. The Vikings, in the end, look how low they are. The Stalkers could kill off the rest of them, and they don't get the Colossus kills that they want.
It's a never-ending set of storms. You come down this pathway, and it will not stop raining. It's incredible how he's doing this. Really, really smart play. I cannot say... You know, it's hard to describe how well he's actually playing here. 3 observers with the army, even more gateways added on. He's got a bunch of minerals in the bank. He's slowly killing INnoVation.
What's that place called in America? Tornado Alley or something like that? Because these storms, that is exactly what MyuNgSiK is doing right now. He is just pulling INnoVation through Tornado Alley. And right now, INnoVation holding strong at these barracks placements. Very, very nicely positioned here for him, but Storms once again kill off some of that bio. And even the Stalkers up to the top were harassing that third base.
Yeah, and with the amount of money that he's got, he just whoops in 20 more Zealots. Even though he's starting to lose a few units here, the amount of units he has coming from behind this, all the Zealots waving in.
This is a crazy game number 1. MyuNgSiK is making it look very, very good for him indeed. Blinks back, saving those Stalkers. Important, wants to spend his gas elsewhere on the Colossi, on the High Templars. He's got 2 Colossus on the way at any given time. And right now, INnoVation is mining from that bottom right-hand corner. So the income for him, rocketing up a little bit to catch up with his opponent, but his gas just isn't there right now.
I mean, he's lost all his Ghosts. I probably would just make 1,000,000 Archons. Because he can't stop it without EMPs. He's going to have a very hard time against these high Templar as well. INnoVation's run out of money, and there's still so much available here for MyuNgSiK, who's mining at that top left as well. Despite INnoVation finding that base down the bottom right and is mining again. Look at this army within these Ghosts.
Oh, those 3 High Templars move on forwards and try and get the storms that they want to. A few feedbacks as well. The Bioforce will power on through thanks to the fact that there's really not that many Zealots, but 3 more High Templars rendezvous with this army. He has to split his units up. 2 of the storms do hit. 1 of them whiffs a little bit. So many medevacs, but nothing to heal. There's no units.
Too many Zealots. Too many Zealots.
GG.
Wow, that fight was for...
Wow.
That was like a 10-minute fight.
That was fantastic.
Like a 10-minute fight.
I'm all giddy.
And the beautiful thing about it is that he'd edge forward, push INnoVation back, and then slip units to the 3rd.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, be doing units to the 4th and come back. And whenever he got in danger, he'd fall back onto the Storm Valley, as you say. Really, really beautiful play there.
Crazy
really
stuff.
Good.
MyuNgSiK here looking very good in game number 1. Once he survives that period of, it's very easy for a Protoss player to say, you've denied my third, you've denied my third, you've denied my third. Oh, I've got to do something. But MyuNgSiK's patience in that window of the game won him everything. If he can get up to the High Templar Storms, the Colossus play, it's very hard for the Terran to really break it in the end.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you look at the end of that game, because that's the freshest thing on our memory, how he got there was incredibly rock-solid defense. Incredibly solid. And remember, the winner of this best of 3 gets a position and an invite to the Tier 1 IEM Shanghai tournament. So a lot on the line between these two players.
If one of them does fall down to the lower bracket, they get another shot after this series.
Yeah.
So there's a potential we could see both of them advance. But if MyuNgSiK was to take the first spot over INnoVation here, bit of an upset. I don't think anybody going into this bracket thought over any other player, MyuNgSiK was the one that would be in this position right now.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the broadcast, I said that the least known player that I know is him.
Yeah,
and now
likewise.
he's in this position. Looking at the lower bracket, there's 6 players remaining down there. Currently, San is waiting for the winner of Savage and Reality. And then Roro is waiting for the winner of Solar and Quantic Shun. So those games are going on right now, and of course there'll be 1 ticket available from all of those guys. MyuNgSiK having the opportunity, or INnoVation, to have a second shot at grabbing that. So they're in the best position possible, being in the winner's bracket.
That means there's 3 series left down there, if I believe, in terms of 3 rounds left there, I believe.
Yeah.
If you include the one that's currently being played out right now. No, 4, in fact. So, right. Seems that everyone is good to go into game number 2. Belchia Vestige is our next map here. And MyuNgSiK, if he plays as well as he did in game number 1, I think I'm going to have goosebumps because that was cool.
Yeah, that was you know, super intelligent and high-level play from both sides there. So, you know, as big as an INnoVation fanboy I am, if MyuNgSiK wins this and INnoVation goes through second, I'm content with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
MyuNgSiK, he's in that game, he certainly made a fan out of me. So, guys, going into game number 2, as we have spawned down to the bottom right-hand corner, the man who needs to bring it back. He is INnoVation. And spawning up to the top left, the man with all the chips in his hands, all the cards. He is MyuNgSiK.
Really good defensive play again, and I don't think he's going to change anything. The map doesn't allow him to change anything. It doesn't need to change anything here. His solid defense allowed him to get into that stable position in the mid to late game. I think he plays identically. I wouldn't even say that he does a 2-base all-in. Just plays completely normal, because INnoVation's build had no really weaknesses.
Yeah, if MyuNgSiK can survive that window once again, then his later game looked absolutely phenomenal. So we'll see if INnoVation wants to make something different happen here.
I mean, INnoVation goes 1 Barracks Command Center and doesn't go for the Reaper, or did in that previous game. But he was very focused on scouting around the map with an SCV or Marine, instead of getting the Reaper to do it for him. And in this game, he is going to get the refinery, though.
I'm like highlighting the other refinery. I'm like, it's going to be that one, guys, but no, it's this one. I am observing as well, guys, so yeah, do bear with me. But anyway, aside from that, we have the gateway going down for MyuNgSiK. He's going to send his scout on out here, and MyuNgSiK, where is he off to? Oh, I guess he's just scouting out for proxies.
Yeah. Scouting out for any proxies or whatnot, maybe trying to make his way to the bottom right if he has a second gas, but he doesn't at this point, unless he throws it down. So it's identically the same opening here from MyuNgSiK. Take his second gas after the Cybercore, a little bit more mineral focus. But we do have a Reaper build coming out from INnoVation. It should just be a single Reaper. With the SCV going to scout inside the main base, which is why he's left, the Reaper will probably go to scout everywhere else. So his INnoVation's third base, outside INnoVation's main base, above that, in case there is anything proxied.
Yeah.
It seems like he is a little bit worried about that option coming into play.
It's certainly a potential. MyuNgSiK being 1 game up, we've seen a lot of proxy Stargate plays coming out from Protosses that have tried to exploit their opponents early on. And it's worked wonders, to be honest with you. If you go undetected with something like a proxy Oracle, scary stuff. All right.
So the SCV goes in there, and it will start to calculate that, You know, there shouldn't really be anything proxied there. There's 3 pylons, but meanwhile, the Reaper is just making sure. And the Reaper as well, the advantage that the Reaper has can also pop into the pop into the main base. In case there's anything thrown down after an expansion or something.
He's a scary little speed demon, this guy. Able to get so much intel so quickly as to what is going on the map. One probe, juking and jiving, wants to go for that Nexus. I think the Reaper saw the probe, so he pretty much knows what's going on, as did the SCV know what was going on there from his initial scout. So just throwing down the bunker to be safer and not sorry in the end.
And INnoVation behind this has an early engineering bay just in case he needs to build a turret, but he can get that +1 attack nice and early. Ooh. So he delays his stim upgrade and kind of slows down his usual run towards stim combat shields factory to get that earlier +1 attack, which benefits him in the later stages, because now at the 10-minute mark, unlike just normally having +1 attack, you'll have both upgrades, +1 attack and +1 armor. And he even got into the main base of the Reaper and saw nothing, which is good for him, by the way.
Nothing and everything.
Yeah.
Well, the robo facility goes down now. Sad that the Reaper's not able to spot that, but MyuNgSiK would have never, ever thrown that down at a timing where the Reaper was allowed to get in there. He does have those 2 sentries to try and deny if it wants to jump in once again, but don't think he's really going to get the opportunity to. Would be crazy.
He's going to try this Reaper.
Is it going to get it? Well, technically, if he were to jump up the ledge, he would always see the robot if he clicked on it.
All right, where is he going to go? And he pokes in, and he does see it. Yeah, 100% sees the robo now. And sees the second gateway and probably swing around for the 3rd gateway. So, well, maybe not the 3rd gateway, but he's seeing what he needs to be seen. And the Hallucinate Phoenix is on the way. Marine's moving out into the middle of the map. Wonder if he's going to poke forwards to try and force some photon overcharge, but I don't think so. There's too many gateway units. I think the Hallucinated Phoenix saw these Marines too.
Did it?
So yeah, they cross paths in the middle. That's why INnoVation didn't move forward any further than he did.
Yeah, fair play. All right. Well, now MyuNgSiK here, playing very, very safe. Getting those observers out again. How many observers did he end up having out early on in that game? Did he have just the 2?
I think he started with 2, but moved up to 3 eventually.
Right, okay. Because that's the sign of a player that really just values information over a lot of other things. And in a game like StarCraft, yeah, you can just have brute force defense or brute force aggression, but having observers in well-placed locations is more valuable than a lot of that if you are able to position yourself well.
All right, so MyuNgSiK now setting up his robotics facility, ready to go over, or robotics bay, ready to go over to Colossus. Meanwhile, INnoVation is not doing anything that's not expected here. Just getting ready for his 1-1 timing. Actually, the one thing that's not normal is he did not get +1 armor, which is something he needs to get. There it is. INnoVation.
Cheeky little guy.
But look at this poke forward here. This is to force a photon overcharge. If the mothership calls out of position, you can kill it. Photon overcharge has to come down here. It's like a no-brainer. Oh,
still taking
couple
the
of extra
engagement.
Marines, I guess, for 2 force fields. And a 3rd. And maybe a 4th. Counting lessons here. That was nice. That's a good play. Oh,
these guys.
Hey, cheeky dancing micro. We're like silently watching this.
I'm just like not even commentating. Perfect.
Yeah, it was a really nice micro, but both players there. I mean, INnoVation was looking for the flick back on the Marines, and MyuNgSiK was always equal to the task. Yeah, it was nice.
All right, we have 1-1 going down, as well as Thermal Lances and the first Colossus coming out. So the first Colossus should shut down any little pushes and prods that he wants to go for with this bio early on. But the 2 medevacs are on the way. So we may see some aggression start.
Yes, Stim, Combat Shield, and +1 armor start into a line here, which is where INnoVation can start to play some games. But at the same time here, MyuNgSiK should be looking to add on some extra gateways. He should have halted probe production. He's actually gone a little bit too far in probes, I'd say, before extra gateways. He's up to 57 probes when ideally he would have liked to be up to 6 gateways, which is easily done, cutting those probes out. The gateways do come in now. He's a little bit low on reinforcements, I'd say. So INnoVation could crack through. Could be able to find a weakness here through having these gateways a little bit late.
And INnoVation here trying to drop the 2 medevacs in the main. They technically were spotted by the observer, so he's positioned himself well. The force fields will go down and push it away. Didn't have thermal lance, so I had to be a little bit careful with the Colossus. And
there's a
Sasha
Colossus.
gonna try and snipe it out. Ah!
Oh, I mean, there's a Colossus on the natural with no force fields around it. There's only 2 Marauders, and there's foot on overcharge, so...
All right, I got a little bit scared for that poor Colossus in the main. He's gonna go for it again. He's gonna go. Ah! Well,
oh, nice.
I was right to be scared.
Yeah, nice pick off there by INnoVation. And now the extra gateways come up, so he's up to a total of 5, still low. So what we end up going to see now, unless he switches tech or expands, his mineral count's going to shoot up. And now with the temporal archives coming down, I guess he can focus a lot more on Zealots, because he will be going over to Zealot charge soon as well.
Yeah.
But if he gets Zealot charge, he can't get 2-2 again. That's the thing that he skipped up on, right?
Yeah.
To make sure he doesn't die, he doesn't get 2-2, which is very interesting. I've never seen a Protoss player get double forge but not get 2-2.
Yeah, he just delays it a little bit, so he can have the tools at his disposal to make his units a little bit more effective in other ways, I guess. And this has been spotted by this observer, but this is a huge drop, and I don't think he can contest this right now with the army that he has in place. Very annoying. Photon overcharge goes down. It's only focusing Marines right now. Maybe the Medivacs would be a little bit of a wiser option, but this is hard to hold off.
There's a lot of units here, and there is 2 more Colossus though, so eventually he will clean this up, but he lost quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the unit's lost tower at 600 minerals or 600 resources difference.
He only lost 1 worker, but MyuNgSiK, despite losing, what did he lose? He lost 1 Colossus in that, as well as a few units. He's trying to go for his 3rd base. I think the INnoVation on a map like this, with the main being so far away from the 3rd, it's going to be so difficult to actually hold on to that 3rd, as well as deny the drops in the main. Yeah,
well, there's 2 Medivacs headed towards the main. Observer to spot it. Ideally, High Templar would be okay here. They're not going to kill the Medivacs. The second one, the one that's low, actually can be killed. So...
by this, yeah.
You focused the wrong one. Oh no, it's very close actually. 1 hit point.
Yeah, trying to morphing an Archon as well here. He's going to push this away in the main. He's separated his forces up nicely though.
Oh, but the 3rd.
Well, he has his army in position, so he should be able to shut it down.
Yeah, again, good defense, but not as good as game 1.
No.
He has taken a bit too much damage here, and INnoVation is breaking through, and he's going to be able to pick off this 3rd Nexus here. The Marauders are going on it. They just need to stim 1 more time.
Even no anti-air there. He lost his Colossus to 2 Vikings. The Zealots have to run away. INnoVation, game number 2.
Just on fire here.
Yeah.
Just on fire. Hardly any mistakes. Picking off High Tempo on the left. The 3rd does fall down. And INnoVation can even move to the natural with all of his units. There's nothing to stop this now.
I want to pick up those Vikings again to kill off that Colossus.
Vikings on the ground kill the Colossus.
What did I just see? Oh, GG, Mules as well.
Wow.
INnoVation. Oh, what a way to finish off that game.
INnoVation after game 1 was like... Do you know what happened?
What happened?
So he lost game 1. And then his teammates came up and said, dude, you're on like an English stream with like 15,000 people watching. You can't just lose like that. He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, foreign fans. I best show them how I really play. And just puts on his glasses. He wasn't playing with glasses in game 1. Puts them on now and just cracks his knuckles like this. Says, all right, let me show you guys how to play Terran versus Protoss. And smashes that game.
I pressed play again. No, that's the wrong button. Something's happening. It like puts me against INnoVation. I'm like, no.
That's not what you want to be doing, man. INnoVation comes up and ties the series up in a fantastic way there. Really, really solid play.
I'm enjoying this way that you're portraying INnoVation in terms of being a monster in the game, but out of game, being this slothful like creature of just...
No, he is. He's actually like that.
All right, okay, guys.
I'm not portraying him. That's him.
I'm still enjoying the idea though of him like still having those flowers next to him and in between games just kind of leaning over and being like
smells them and
just kind of goes back.
Never ever again in my StarCraft 2 career get presented flowers over a trophy. This? That's what his face means. You know that one picture of him smelling the flowers, all he's thinking about is FML.
Yeah. Defeat.
That's all he's thinking about because that was a defeat. That was a big defeat. And he's probably got those flowers. Probably waters them every day just to make sure he feels that pain.
Remind him every day. This is what defeat smells like. Grr.
And I will never have another set of flowers again. As he makes his way closer and closer towards qualifying for the IEM main tournament, of course, in Shanghai in a couple of weeks. The first IEM tournament of the season. And it looks like I'm host, so it's time to go.
Apollo is host on MyuNgSiK Precinct.
They're like, go. I'm like, okay, sorry.
Go. I'm tempted to like call you out in it in chat, and then INnoVation says, I know. And you're like, No, my hero. Bad times.
Who wins?
Who wins?
INnoVation or MyuNgSiK?
I think INnoVation in game number 1 got a kick up the bum. And now, I think he's here for blood.
All right.
How about yourself?
I think so too.
You think so too?
Of course.
All right. Okay then. Right. Loading up and spawning on the top right, well, bottom right hand corner here as our blue Terran once again. He is INnoVation. And spawn down to the bottom left, we have our cool Protoss player. He is MyuNgSiK. And he's going across the map.
Oh boy.
Really?
So what this is going to be, I think, is going to be a... it could be 10 pylon or 9. It doesn't matter which one at this point. Just depends how long it takes to get over there. It's going to be a pylon into like a 10 gateway. And then he's going to build the cyber core outside here too.
You know, I very rarely see these things work now against Terran. It's so hard to make work. Although, if you went... Well, no, he's not going to go command center first. What am I about? Never mind. Ignore.
It depends on what INnoVation does. It's going to be like a 10 gateway, fast cyber core, fast gas. And he'll put the cyber core next to his gateway here, and he'll rush the zealot out and a stalker, and he'll save the zealot. He won't chrono boost the zealot. He'll save the zealot there. Oh wait,
he's going to make a second gate.
He's not. Oh god. Oh gosh.
He's going for command center first.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh.
Double gateway.
He's going for command center first.
Double rainbow all the way.
I cannot believe that this is actually happening.
this
He's
is
going on the low ground. Oh.
All right. INnoVation is boned. I don't know how he's going to hold this, man. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
SCV control.
Mega SCV control.
Oh, man. I really thought it was going to be the other version of this that we've seen a lot in the Korean scene, which is the one gateway.
Yeah.
But this double gateway coming out. And look at this. The probe moves in. He's like,
probe.
yeah, I've just walked all the way from the other side of the map. I'm really not doing anything, I swear to God. INnoVation's like, I believe you. I'm going to go scout you now. I believe you do. And look at that. He's like, oh, you're not going to make a wall?
He makes
because there's a pylon.
Yeah.
And now the zealot's like, oh, goody.
Hi.
Well, that's funny because he builds a supply depot.
Wait a minute.
That's funny. That was meant to, that actually ideally should have been there.
Yeah, just one hex up. But
all right, let's see if INnoVation can do this, man. If INnoVation can do this.
If he can. I don't think he can.
Remember, there's so many zealots coming out. The barracks is not even complete.
Does this supply depot die before it gets repaired? It's really close.
I think it's going to survive, right?
Yeah.
It should, and then get mass repaired.
He needs to repair it with...
Maybe more, but there's another barracks coming in.
Wait a minute. Sean.
You know, that pylon's really funny, isn't it?
It is. Why did... Oh, it only had to be one hex up.
Dude, this is so funny.
I cannot believe it. Is he...
INnoVation's like...
Do you remember that carbot animation?
I am the best.
Do you remember that first ever episode of StarCraft?
I am the best player in the world.
He's not repairing that. Oh, okay. He started now.
There is no way to beat me.
He's made a cybernetics core back at home, so it's going to be stalkers.
Dude, I really... that pylon is so funny. Just look at it.
Yeah. God damn it.
This really... If everything had gone to plan... I don't see how INnoVation could have hold this. Like, how can you hold this?
If there was a one hex gap there for him to walk through, then he would have had to make a load of random supply. It just makes the command center on the high ground. Bye bye.
I mean, he did cancel his command center, so this is quite funny.
INnoVation has a look around, but for all intents and purposes, it's really important to note, guys, that if that pylon had blocked that supply depot, this would have been a hell of a lot harder for INnoVation.
If there wasn't a wall off in the first place, like if there was no wall off, if the pylon had stopped the wall off, anything. Dude, this is so great.
So great. It's so weird.
And now he's like, you know, MyuNgSiK's like, again, INnoVation.
Damn you.
Damn you and your stupid Terran. Why did I do this after my defense was so good in game 1? And I suppose it was because it wasn't so good in game 2 that I decided to do this.
Oh, dear me. Right, okay. So it's warp gate. He goes for the Nexus. And where do you go from here as the Protoss? What do you do? Just try and play on a normal game? It doesn't... Ah, my brain.
I don't know. Because, I mean, you're not too far behind, but the problem is your gateways are on the other side of the map.
Yeah. It's like they're always gonna die, and then you're limited in production. You have to invest an extra 300 minerals into.
I think it's very, very funny for INnoVation, because INnoVation does nothing different now.
Yeah.
He goes back into his play and just says, all right, I'll get Stim. I've got my engineering bay. I'll get my factory in a moment. And then I'll go over and take my expansion and whatnot. This is fine. And then come and kill you. But for MyuNgSiK, he's going to try this contain.
Yeah.
I guess you can't mine from your base. This is nice recovery if this works. He obviously has to hit the force field. It's kind of bad if he doesn't.
Gets a few of the Marines on the other side and should be able to pull back for now. Not too bad. He should lift off the orbital command eventually, one would assume. Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's a really good force field, actually.
Yeah.
Because with the mothership core, he's going to pick off every single one of those Marines that side, hopefully.
Has to pull mothership, go back.
Does he continue? That's really funny that he built the 2 sentries.
Run away!
Yeah. now INnoVation, that did slow INnoVation down a little bit, but still INnoVation's in a lead. You can see by 10 supply. You can see that the factory's on its way, +1 attack and stim, where there's nothing out at the moment.
Ooh.
Nice. This is nice.
Focusing down some of the weaker Marines. And
he's kind of pushing the gateways too. He's going to build 2 more Stalkers. If he builds 2 more Stalkers here with the mothership core, INnoVation does need a bunker. This is actually kind of crucial. He needs a bunker.
He really does. Time kills off the mothership core. Nice pick off there. The bunker's trying to get up as quickly as it can do, but the Stalker's microing very well here for MyuNgSiK. Aside from that one dying in the end. But other than that...
The bunker needs to complete here.
Yeah. He doesn't have many Marines left.
Yeah, he's got 2 Marines left. The 3rd one now comes in. He will complete now the bunker, and INnoVation does manage to survive here. Behind us, though, is an Immortal. And it's kind of been spotted, but it hasn't been spotted because he doesn't know that's an Immortal or Observer. And obviously the robotics bay could come down soon. But what we're going to see is a follow-up on Mortal push, like a 2 Immortal push. This is going to be kind of interesting. He's cut his pro production kind of low, 29. He's going to try and end this soon. As scan goes down,
Oops.
Sees extra gateways. But is that extra gateways coming down because he's coming for an attack? And INnoVation thinks so. Slaps down extra bunkers. He's like, well, you got 2 down on the natural. You've put down 2 more instead of tech. That's 4 before even teching. That's really fast. I guess I'm going to build a bunch of bunkers.
Yeah, that's a lot of bunkers. Not sure how he's really going to break that. I kind of like the idea from MyuNgSiK because he was always going to lose these 2 gateways at the front if he didn't continue aggression, but very difficult. INnoVation pokes out with a lonely SCV, sees those SCVs, those sentries at the front. It's like, oh, okay, so you are going for aggression. Really?
Yeah.
No.
Caloris, are you at it again?
I don't want to do that in the middle of an engagement, please.
Caloris.
I'm glad I'm not playing under the Kylaris name.
All right, so 5 bunkers down. This is going to be very, very difficult to break. Incredibly difficult, actually.
Yeah.
5, like, he's already pulled back. He's already going home. An excellent, excellent play saying, well, you know when you go for an Immortal push, you build 2 Immortals, and you don't build an Observer? Well, what happens if I put a Widow Mine in your mineral line, in each mineral line? Then what do you do as you're trying to attack me?
The answer is not a whole lot. Well, try and break things and then, unfortunately, not break anything. INnoVation, sending that medevac over. There is the mothership core there. Doesn't even have energy for photon overcharge, though.
Yeah, just one Widow Mine in each mineral line is great here. Stops him from mining. The Observer has to be chrono boosted out. This is a little bit annoying for MyuNgSiK. One on the natural is actually gets targeted down. A little bit slow to burrow.
Yeah, not too bad.
So INnoVation now has Medivacs on the way, and this is as the Medivacs complete, he comes across the map with his huge army, 42 supply to 29. And unfortunately, through going for a double proxy, through going for an Immortal push after that, there are no units that do splash damage, Colossus or High Templar.
Yeah.
He does have a lot of force fields and double Immortals, but if INnoVation plays this out nicely, this could be a very difficult hold.
Very difficult indeed. The saving grace will be force fields with Immortals on ramps and things like that, but I don't even think that INnoVation is going to give him full room. The medevacs are out. He's going to just start dropping, and very, very difficult for MyuNgSiK to deal with the limited resources in terms of army that he actually has.
Yeah, I mean, combat shields and +1 armor is going to finish to join up with +1 attack. Very, very difficult here. And MyuNgSiK kind of knows that he's in a hard position and won't have time to get to Colossus or High Templar. So he's deciding just to build a bunch of units and then utilize them more by getting Blink.
Gonna throw down that scan, see exactly what's going on. Oh, and even lets this army up before force fielding it off there. A lot of damage still being done despite the force fields going down pretty haphazardly, trying to just seal off what he can. That army slowly being picked away at from the other side of the wall, picks up everything and tries to go into the main, but MyuNgSiK's on top of it.
Yeah, but now there's no force fields. There's one sentry half health, and 2 more just get warped in, so he's got 3 force fields. It's going to be very difficult to keep these units away from coming in. There's also a Widow Mine right there in the middle. Right in the middle.
And he's going to stem up and just go straight for it. One of the Immortals goes down, so does the second one as well. INnoVation crushes the rest of this gateway force, and MyuNgSiK, there you go, GG. INnoVation advances on to play at the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai.
INnoVation's going to China. He's going to be joining the other players that are qualified. He's going to another Tier 1 event. Well, his first external Tier 1 event, and he'll be playing in IEM Shanghai in a couple of weeks' time. It's going to be pretty scary to see him there tearing it up.
Prepare yourselves, European players, as well as prepare yourself, Aussies that have already advanced on.
The king is coming.
Yeah.
INnoVation playing extraordinarily well, considering he lost the first game. MyuNgSiK played his best game in Game 1 for sure, and then INnoVation just crushed Game 2 and again, Game 3. I think everyone's going to remember that pylon placement for a long time.
Poor little pylon. All right, guys, that does it for the upper bracket. Now we shall go down to the lower bracket. Let's have a quick sneak peek as to what's been going on down there so far.
So by the looks of it, is that Hyun beats Solar, which means Quantic Hyun is going up against Roro right now.
I want to watch that.
In one of the semifinals. I think it's already been played out.
Really?
San is still waiting if the bracket is not updated yet, if it hasn't played, for Reality and Savage. So there are definitely 1 game we'll cover, potentially 2, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I think
no,
something.
wait.
2, maybe 3.
Yeah, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, I really, really want to see Roro
because we
versus
may
Hyun.
do San versus Savage in Reality if that hasn't started yet. Then we'll do the winner of Hyun and Roro versus San and Savage Reality. And then the winner will play MyuNgSiK for the last ticket to IEM Shanghai.
Awesome stuff, guys. So don't go anywhere. We need to determine that last spot here after the break when we have more StarCraft action on the way.